Hey guys, JD here. I wanted to make this video. I'm trying to keep it as short as possible, but I want to talk a little bit about the Orlando attack and Christina Grimmie. I kind of am going to address, and I actually wrote this down, I'm going to address 5 groups of people, specifically with the Orlando shooting, that I think really need to be addressed. First off, obviously, people who are affected by the Orlando shooting, anybody who knew somebody who was there, I really am honestly sorry for you. You know, my prayers, and I really am praying, go out to you guys. You know, any kind of help that can be, should be done. So I do want to extend that out. You know, everything that I say here is going out with the preface that what happened obviously didn't deserve to be done, which kind of leads me to my number 2. All the Christians out there, or anybody who's calling this a purification of the nation, go to hell. You guys aren't Christians. You don't represent Christianity. You don't represent Christ. It's disgusting. You are disgusting. It amazes me how many people are using this as a I told you so on so many different sides. How can you take this tragedy and use it for your own political and religious stance? Screw you. Go to hell. Alright? As a Christian, I'm telling you to go to hell. Alright? Because you don't represent me. You don't represent the actual Christians who are out there. Christ told us to do one thing. 2 things. Love God and love our neighbors. You're failing miserably at both of them. Number 3 are the gay people out there. It's sad that I even need to say it. Please don't take those Christians to be a representation of the actual Christians out there, okay? Listen, I have a lot of gay friends. Let's just put it that way. I have a lot of gay friends, okay? I used to work at Apple, all right? And I love them very much, okay? I have a gay friend who's like my brother, all right? I don't speak out against it. I don't even really like to talk about it a whole lot unless I'm asked about it. But I want you to know that the real Christians out there are the ones who love you and will love you. And I'm so sorry that this had to be done. Number 4, and this one has really been irritating me. It's the second biggest reason why I wanted to make this video. There are a lot of people out there who are being assholes in general on the opposite side. I also saw another meme that talked about that. Said, screw to Congress, screw your prayers and do your job. Listen, it amazes me how I'm independent. I lean more toward conservative Republican. Okay, that's what a lot of my beliefs, okay, align more so with that party. I don't think that's a surprise. Okay, but it amazes me how many people on the left care so much about people's feelings and opinions until somehow it contradicts with their opinions and feelings. Okay, it proves that you don't care about anybody's feelings. It just cares about you. It shows that you care about your own agenda. Right? I don't agree with Bill Maher on just about anything. If we met, we'd probably have a debate every time we spoke on every topic. Okay, but the one thing that I did agree with him on is that there's this case of ultra-liberalism that is spiraling out of control, especially with younger people today, that it's disgusting. It's not a matter of keeping people safe or hurting somebody who might be discriminated against. It has to do with making yourself feel better. Okay, and it's ridiculous. It's completely out of control. Alright? If you're gonna tout and spew political correctness out of your mouth, then you need to do it toward everybody. And for you to tell me to screw my prayers, and they didn't use the word screw, okay? You're telling me to screw my prayers? That is insulting on so many levels, especially when I'm actually saying it and meaning it. Stop being an asshole. This leads me to my last point with the Orlando shooting, and it has to do with gun control. This isn't the first time that you're going to be hearing it if you listen to my podcast. I am pro-gun. Okay, I believe in the Second Amendment, and I believe that we should be allowed to own guns. Furthermore, I believe that assault rifles should be allowed to be owned by the American people. And anyone who tells you it's because it's good for hunting, or it's for my family's protection in case an intruder comes in, they're full of shit, and they don't know why the Second Amendment was put in there. The Second Amendment was put in there, okay, in case the government ever got out of line, that the people could stand up and revolt. Okay? That's why the Second Amendment is there. It has nothing to do with making a nice collection in your house. It has nothing to do with going out and hunting. I'm not against hunting, okay? But that's not why we should be allowed to own assault rifles. I should be allowed to own assault rifles in case the American government ever got so out of hand that there was a civil war that broke loose and the people could fight for themselves. That's why we should be allowed to own assault rifles. Now, I know what a lot of you are saying. A lot of you who are still here might be cursing me out. Some of you might be agreeing with me, I don't know, okay? But I will say this, and this is for the people who might be agreeing with me right now. Gun control needs to be stricter. It's not a matter of taking the guns out of the hands of the American people. It's about making sure that it doesn't end up in the wrong Americans' hands. Okay, what happened in Orlando, this guy was looked at 3 times for terrorism. 3 times he was under investigation of terrorism. And he bought a gun legally. That should not be allowed. Gun control, the way that we get guns, needs to be stricter. If you post up your political belief on this, don't call someone an asshole and tell them that they're insensitive for posting their rebuttal to that and using this as an excuse. Because that's another thing I saw. I tried to stay out of it. I really did. I didn't argue with anybody on Facebook. But I saw people anti-gun posting up about how atrocious this is and how anybody who says that we should be allowed to own guns is retarded. Their words, not mine. And then when someone tried to refute it and explain their side, they were called insensitive. In fact, the person even blocked them. I don't understand that. This country was great, and I know that we have a history that is stained. But this country was great at one point. This country was a country that people could escape their country, come here and find a job. My grandpa came here in the 70s from Lebanon. He had $10 in his pocket. Okay? Not only does my grandpa now own property here, I'm not saying an apartment, he owns a house with land. Okay? He was able to help me and my parents get our house. My grandpa has money now. He came here because of that. That's a big deal. This country used to be awesome. I know this is more of a rant, and I didn't want it to be as much a rant as I just really wanted to put something out there, okay? Emotions are running high right now. Don't play with people's emotions. Again, for everyone who is affected by Orlando, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Nobody deserves this. Nobody. One other thing. Christina Grimmie. I was one of the people, me and my brothers, actually played with Before You Exit. That was her band. a long time ago, years before she was on America's Got Talent or The Voice. She was an amazing singer. She was an amazing singer, an amazing person, an amazing Christian. And I am so sorry that this happened, that this had to happen. And I hope that you guys in the band hear me out. I don't know if you remember me. Probably don't. But I am really sorry about that. I wanted to post this video up because I didn't want to just be another Facebook post. I wanted to really explain how I felt, and I felt like it needed more than just words. There's a lot of emotion going on here right now. Should be. Let's band together. I remember after 9/11, I was young. I was in 7th grade, so I was maybe like 13, 14. And I remember going to the end of my block in my town and standing along Route 46. My entire town was there. My entire town. Everyone was holding candles. We were singing the national anthem, America the Beautiful, you know, just like screaming USA, you know, making people honk as they drove by. Out of devastation came one of the biggest unifying events that I can remember. It's amazing how 14 years later, 15 years later, an event like this can tear us apart so drastically. That's all I'm going to say. I hope, if anything, you take out of this is just be civil to each other, love each other. Nobody deserves to be shot and killed. Nobody. It's not even, again, I don't even know why it's a thing to think about. These were innocent people. Anyway, again, I'm so sorry that this happened. God bless you guys, to anybody who is affected by this. Anybody. And like I said, just love each other. Love each other, guys. Like, why is that so hard? Just love each other. Just be there for everybody. That's it. God bless in later days.